Introduction. As they return from the land of waves, Team 7 fall into somewhere far more chaotic and divided than the ninja world. Follow Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi after they find themselves in the world of the One Piece. Growing through a special brand of chaos across trials, battles, training, and more as members of the Straw Hat Pirates on the Grand Line. Chapter 1. The Crucial Wish. Come on, Sensei. This mission turned out fine, ye know. And the next one has to be an even better one. And with a bigger adventure. We all got stronger, and we saved a whole island, believe it. You gotta get us another C rank, or something even higher. You know. Uzumaki Naruto exclaimed to his teacher. Team 7 were traveling home at a relaxing, smooth pace. Leaving the land of waves behind them and returning home after the completion of their first C-rank mission. As they strolled near a river connected to the ocean, Uchiha Sasuke let out a soft grunt. Agreeing with his attention-needy teammate but unwilling to admit it. Haruno Sakura did not share his sentiment. Naruto. This mission wasn't even supposed to be this dangerous in the first place. Sasuke almost died from that ninja Haku, and we had to rescue Kakashi-sensei from Zabuza's water prison. It would be better if we avoided dangerous situations like that until we grow much stronger. Oh, come on, Sakura. D-ranks are more boring than listening to the Irika-sensei. I don't want to go back to babysitting or chasing that crazy cat. We got a lot better on this one than anything we did on those chores. Right, Kakashi-sensei? 3 sets of eyes trained on the tallest figure in the group. The legendary Kapinin Hatake Kakashi. Veteran ninja. Former ANBU. The man with 1,000 jutsu. With his single eye trained on a steamy passage in his favorite book, Ika Ika Paradise. Still, the man wasn't absent-minded. No. Sorry, Naruto, we probably won't take another C rank for quite some time. Way out. 2 of the genin shouted, while one of them huffed in silent frustration. But Sensei, none of us want to go back to lame kid stuff. Come on. You're just saying that because you like being late and lazy all the time. That ain't cool, you know. Naruto cried, pointing a first straight at his sensei. He's got a good point, Uchiha Sasuke silently agreed. He's still a loser, but he's right. My Sharingan finally awakened during that fight with Haku. And my chakra control grew during those tree exercises. But, growling, the Avenger growled quietly, curling one hand in a fist. But I froze up when we first encountered Zabuza. His sheer presence, his killing intent had me trembling with fear. With doubt. In his mind, a silhouette materialized of somebody else with Sharingan eyes. He will definitely have more when I finally face him. I need to find more challenges and dangers to improve. Sakura spoke up. Naruto. What if we run into any Rouge ninja like Zabuza again? Plus, after finding out what kind of ninja he was, and what some villages make their ninja do. Her eyes became downcast, filled with conflicting emotions. Maybe being a ninja isn't so great after all. Sure, Leaf Ninja would never do any stuff like that. But with so many dangerous people out here, it better spending more time inside the village and getting stronger in a safe place. Naruto frowned in frustration. No way, Sakura. The best way to h. The blonde yelled in pain, hopping on one foot while his right toes were throbbing. Kakashi put down his book and examined his injured genin. Naruto. Do try to keep watch of where you're going. Stubbing your foot on a rock in shinobi sandals can be painful. And rather clumsy. Oh. Yeah. I get it. Oh. That really hurt. The boy complained, holding his open-toed right foot. Looking down, he glared at the rock that had gotten in his way. Only to see that it wasn't a rock. A clay bottle of medium size rested on the ground. Several deep cracks accented its purple-gray body, with a rubber cork in the mouth. What is that? Bending down, Kakashi lifted it into his hands, while curiosity drew Sasuke and Sakura closer. Now how did a lamp like this end up just sitting here in the road? The Jonin asked aimlessly. Can I keep it? An excitable blonde asked. Why would you want something that beaten up and antiqued? It's practically useless, Sakura asked. With a shrug, Kakashi handed the jar to Naruto, who gave it an experimental shake. Huh. Good hey. There's something inside. Huh. It won't open. Naruto was pulling hard on the cork. Harder. And even harder as his curiosity grew. Grrrr. Naruto. That really isn't a good use for your mouth. Kakashi spoke as the boy sunk his teeth into the cork, then wrung it left and right to loosen the stopper. It took a few moments to get the blonde to start down the road back towards home, and he continued grumbling all the while. H-H-H-H-H, Naruto, Y-R-S-H-H-H-H. Sakura looked up as her sensei quietly silenced her question. Sakura, Kakashi whispered, if Naruto wants to keep it, just let it be. Besides, working on that cork has kept him from asking more questions. Tell him to stop, then succeed, and he'll still be loud all the way back to the village. Sakura gaped at her sensei in awe. Then dutifully smiled, while inside her head, H-H-H-H-H, brilliant, putting stubborn stupidity to good use, inner Sakura snickered between fingers over her lips. Later that night, Team 7 made camp in a small clearing away from the road. Most of them were gathered around the fire, with Sakura edging closer to Sasuke, mustering her nerves for another round. The last Uchiha internally groaned as a familiar question formed on Sakura's lips. Aug. Come on and open, already. Come on. Come on. I'll get you open, believe it. God. Naruto, will you stop already? What's so important to make you want to open that piece of garbage anyway? Sakura exclaimed. Now Sasuke did turn his eyes on Naruto. Frustrated by the blonde's clueless obsession, even if he was thankful that the guy had distracted Sakura from him. It's not junk, Sakura-chan. I found it, and I want to keep it. Plus, I'm really, really close. The boy kept yanking on the bottle, as Sakura began to argue with him over logic or useless ideas about removing the cork. Together, they made so much noise even Kakashi grew a sliver of irritation. Ich. Well, it may have distracted him from begging for more Syrinx for a bit. But I guess the kid's not gonna stop until he gets that bottle open, Kakashi silently observed, as now Naruto had 3 clones out to help him. And it's officially ridiculous. Naruto. 3 young faces turned to the Jonin, one pinning the bottle under their hands and feet, a second working their teeth around it, again, plus 2 hands on the ceramic neck, and the final one holding the second by their middle and pulling back. Wahaha ish ich Kakrasi Renrei? The one with his jaws around the cork asked. Kakashi paused, with the other 3 staring at him, waiting. Until the Jonin rolled his eyes and stood up, pulling out 1 kunai. Hand it over. I'll open it for you, I suppose. Really, sensei, PFFFTTPFFFFTGKKH. One Naruto spat out from his mouth, while another walked over, holding the bottle to Kakashi. That thing was getting dirt in my mouth. The audience of 3 each made their own faces, or 2 out of 3, as Kakashi took the bottle, set it down sideways on a stump, and raised his kunai. No! Naruto threw his arms in, snatching the bottle back right as the kunai halted mere inches from his fingers. Huh? What's tingling? In the faint light, Sasuke's ordinary eyes picked out a dull glow engulfing the kunai. Sakura did not notice it, though, and smacked Naruto over his head. Idiot! You could have lost your fingers. Do want it opened, or not? Open, not broken. They ain't the same, you know, another Naruto complained, all 3 now rushing up to wrestle the bottle back from Kakashi. It could be worth money. I can use it to hold flowers. Open, not broken. This belonged to somebody, why break it if it's not broken? More explanations came, invading Kakashi's ears. Okay. With a deep breath, Kakashi slid the kunai away, then held up his arm, pulling all 3 Narutos dangling off their feet. I won't break it, I'll even give you my word. So long as once this is opened, you take my watch. That fight with Zabuza still left me a little drained. Narutos each looked at each other whispering, then gave a nod and let go, 3 turning back into 1. Lazy. And stupid, Sasuke silently thought. Kakashi still wants to be lazy. And Naruto's the same old fool by falling for it. Then, simple as a footstep, Kakashi opened the bottle. Immediately, rapidly, plumes of smoke came erupting from the uncorked rim, a peculiar purple shade of smoke, billowing out stronger and stronger from the open jar. Rapidly, its smoke began compressing, forming a tight orb until, ta-da! Once again free at last. A portly figure smoothly burst forth. It was human, or at least appeared to be. The man wore a black vest and a pink long-sleeved Changshan shirt. With a rounded face, a cheery smile framed by a thin goatee, a twirling mustache and sideburns, plus light, red-tinted sunglasses. The figure's arms gestured about as he continued to loudly express his apparent gratitude. It's been 1,000 years. The world I'm Suri is waiting. Guess my identity. You have 1 try. Not 1. All right, I'll tell you. I am the famous genie of the bottle. Sweeping his arm in the bow, the self-proclaimed genie prostrated himself before those assembled to make a pledge. I am prepared to grant you 3 wishes. You may wish for anything you want. Ow. Hot, 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 hot. Idiot. Naruto, I said that you'd burn your tongue. Why can't you listen to anything? The genin were gathered near the campfire, ignoring the strange being, while Kakashi lazed about but kept a sharp eye on him. Irritated, a vein made a small bulge in the genie's temple. Don't you listen when somebody is talking to you. I made a generous offer, one that comes around only in 1,000 years. Stop lying, Naruto answered. Genies aren't real, so stop pretending to be one. You're real loud and annoying, you know. At that, all movement stopped. You're not really one to talk. Naruto, Kakashi silently observed. If someone's more annoying than the loser, I might actually need to kill them, Sasuke made a face. The annoying calling somebody annoying? Sakura was glaring, while another voice in her head was shouting, you're the most annoying person there is. Stop being a hypocrite. Cha. And naturally, Naruto wasn't registering any of this, instead kneeling closer to Sasuke and whispering behind a cupped hand. This guy's seeming real shifty. Think if we just don't feed him, he'll go away? The apparent genie moved forward. I'm not suspicious. Take one look at me. I'm a genie, for real. Why are you still saying that? Naruto answered him. Sakura frowned at Naruto. What are you doing? Stop talking to this guy and he will go away. I am a genie. For real. And genies don't lie, the guest persisted. That's hardly a reassuring stance, Kakashi spoke up. There are a lot of stories. Some that warn people about trusting genies to give honest wishes. Or of the genie in question bending a person's wish to be more of a curse than a blessing. How can you prove to be an actual genie and not a charlatan? Well, just ask for a wish, and I'll show you. Oh yeah. Naruto cried out. Well, if you're a genie, then make me the Naruto. Kakashi spoke with authority, softly placing a hand on the boy's mouth. Don't be in such a rush. The Jonin deliberated for a moment to find a wish that would be useful, but also the least impactful on other people. Or actually give Naruto enough power to be called a Hokage. And he had a small flicker of one certain wish. Excuse me? If you are a genie, then could I have a complete set of the Golden Edition Ika Ika novels? With the next book that will be released, plus all 3 autographed by their author, with a smile in his eye. I shall grant your wish. The strange being crossed his arms and spoke a pair of words. Abracadabra. In a flourish, a pocket of smoke appeared, then cleared away just as fast, revealing 4 neatly stacked volumes, wrapped in golden string, at Kakashi Hataki's foot. The owner of the said foot froze. There. Before him. Neatly packaged. Hard copies. It can't, no. No way, Itch. He forgot to breathe and collapsed, choking hard on his mask. Once he stopped seeing stars, though, his head was level with the wished gift, cruising over the spine, page counts, covers, and more. Kakashi even lifted his headband, his Sharingan pulsing with glee to ensure no illusions were present. Especially the green-covered one atop the pile, one that he had never seen before. That can't be. Is it really? The man was squealing with excitement. Tadea. A complete Ika Ika series authored by Jiraiya the Toad Sage. With the next installment, Ika Ika Tactics, which will not be out for public purchase until another 3 years. Wait. 3 years. I got the next book that far in advance. Kakashi was on his knees, overwhelmed with such pleasure he was in awe. So you really are a genie, a hyperactive knucklehead declared, with stars dancing in his eyes. You're amazing. Sakura cried, running up to the genie and locking her arms around his neck. That was the coolest thing I ever saw. Hey! 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 If you're a genie, then I need this wish. Naruto came bounding up. I wish to be powerful enough TOMUHOMF. Sasuke's hand clamped over Naruto's mouth. Don't waste it. He said 3 wishes, total, not 3 apiece. I have a wish far more important than yours, he casually spoke. Sasuke's voice was quiet, even as his left hand trembled. His mind was drifting back to the night his life shattered, and someone challenged him to grow strong enough to kill them if he ever could. Gate. No way. You. Naruto had slobbered his tongue over Sasuke's hand to move it. Now both boys were glaring at one another, with sparks igniting between them. You don't have anything that you need, Sasuke. Stop being a show-off. There's nobody who needs this wish more than me. Before this could escalate, the genie actually split them apart. Now, the proven genie gently yanked Sakura off of himself, dropping her between the boys while Kakashi was cradling his new book Ika Ika Tactics, with reverence. Let's get down to business. You only have 2 wishes left. Quickly, the genin knelt close together and began debating over the next wish. The genie hovered about them, careening to catch some hit or hear a request very soon. Soon turned into later, later into longer. Eventually, the genie grew tired as the preteens were talking together. So, he turned his attention back to Jonin. Excuse me. Do you want another wish? Or would you please talk to the brats trying to make up their minds? Huh? Kakashi looked up from his silent celebration. Did you say sometime? Would you please step back for a second, Mr. Genie? Sakura inquired to him. We need a minute to decide, and Sensei does not count. Not after he already had a wish, Sakura established. Certainly. Young masters. Take all the time you need. Now you have only 1 wish left. Huh? What? Hey! All the kids shouted in surprise. Wait? How can that count? Scoura complained. You didn't say anything before, and nobody made a wish. Because, young mistress. That is one of the rules, the genie replied to Sakura. What rules? These right here. They're written clearly on the bottom of the bottle. Said bottle was raised into the air and extended to the trio to read. Please read the 3rd paragraph of the genie instructions. What paragraph? The bottom's covered in mud. Oh my, that would be a problem, the genie nodded, quickly whipping the dried mud caked onto the bottom of his residence. Indeed, there was writing around the base. "Oh, I see," Sakura mumbled, reading the instructions about any declined offers from the genie after wish number 1 had been fulfilled. "Well, it's certainly a pity that we didn't stop somewhere to wash it. Otherwise, Naruto might have seen those a lot sooner," Kakashi mused, now standing beside his students, with the new complete Ika set held tightly in his left arm. "Good. Now that we're on the same page, what is your final wish?" "It's mine." Sasuke stepped forward. "Hey, that's not fair. You can't keep something like this for yourself." "Jerk!" Naruto shouted, pointing his figure into Sasuke's face. "You'll only waste the last wish on ramen." Sasuke bit back or something pointless like a dream. Kakashi-sensei already used the first one, and Sakura blew the second by throwing it away. Nobody that useless should get to use something this important. At Sasuke's accusation, Sakura melted into depression as her crush called her useless and was correct about her wasting a wish. Kakashi didn't make any noticeable movement, but his mind was buzzing as both his eyes moved from one boy to another, then slid his headband back down over his eye. However, Naruto's hands were clenched, trembling at his sides. "If I made this wish right now, I could become the Hokage, sure. But I could also wish for everyone in the village to finally start treating me like a person, not a germ that they want to disappear. Maybe I can even wish for the fox to be gone from me, for good." And Sasuke just insulted Sakura-chan. "Genie," Sasuke spoke to the eccentric spirit. "I wish for the power to dash NO. I need this wish a lot more badly than you. A lot more badly." Whining like a juvenile, which he was, Naruto seized Sasuke by his collar, yanking the boy forward and down to the ground. "You have no idea what my life is like back in the village. I'm the one who needs this wish the most." Naruto spat into Uchiha's face, with tears forming in the corners of his eyes. The boy's memory traveled back to the glares, the neglect, the long, lonely nights curled on his bed, depressed and confused. The whispers, "Look. It's that kid. Why did they let that boy stay in the village, those two grown-ups on the street? Just return to your seat. Iruka-sensei, on my first day in his class. Hey, you little brat. Get out of here. I don't want you here. You're nothing but a pest. The shopkeeper. I was just looking at a mask. I wasn't doing anything, and he hit me. There. You see him? It's that boy. He's the only one who failed. Humph. Well, it serves him right. Just imagine it if he became a ninja. I mean, he's the dash those ladies by the academy. After my third try to graduate, I've got to use this wish. No. In a single second, Naruto was thrown over and pinned to the ground. Sasuke. Naruto recoiled, staring up at the Uchiha in fear. That look. It's like that day at the academy. They're like the same everyone gives me. But a lot stronger than those. His eyes, that hatred, it's not for me. But it's still there. Suddenly, Sasuke was lifted off of Naruto. That's enough. The both of you, Kakashi spoke, then hoisted Naruto to his feet and set both boys down side by side. Ich. Now listen, the Jonin-sensei scolded each one. I know you both have some deep aspirations. But ask yourselves, do you really want this? A pair of confused eyes turned to the gray-haired ninja. Do you really want someone to just give you what you want so easily? Do you want to feel true accomplishment and satisfaction from the ambitions and dreams you each carry? Because if you do, this isn't the way to do it. Kakashi eyed Naruto, then Sasuke. I normally don't like to be this hands-on. But if they just get everything that they want so easily, what'll the consequences be for the village? Naruto isn't mature or understanding enough about the Hokage's position to just wish to become him so casually. He'd still be a thoughtless fool, but one with a big heart. While if Sasuke just wishes for Itachi to die, he might become aimless and undedicated at best. Or carry that anger all the more heavily, like I did. If you ask this genie those questions, Kakashi spoke aloud, then the truth is, he'll be the one who made you Hokage, Naruto. Or killed the man you want to avenge yourself on so badly, Sasuke. He will have done it, not the pair of you, and hold the true credit. Naruto and Sasuke. Neither of them moved. Both looked down, confused and contemplative. Kakashi continued. If you truly care about your dreams, your ambitions and aspirations, then the best way to do that is by fulfilling them yourselves. Growing through missions, training, and facing real struggles that stand before you. Until you accomplish your desires in your unique way. That is what a true ninja does. It's how the fourth Hokage gained his title, and the best of the Uchiha rose to greatness. By creating success for themselves instead of just looking for easy wins or letting someone else do the work for them. That hit the spot. Naruto and Sasuke both started to question asking the genie to fulfill their goals for them. The best way to reach the goals you set for yourselves, Kakashi kept speaking, his eye crackling like a smile, is to train hard and face serious challenges along the way. And you might accomplish more than you originally intended to. Like the mission we just completed, the help we gave to those people, and the growth each of you made during that adventure. Kakashi Hatake had made a fatal mistake. But that won't happen, Sensei. Naruto shouted. You were just saying how we won't be having any C-rank missions for a long while. We can't grow if there's no danger for us to beat up, and D-rank missions don't have adventure. Wait. Adventure. That's it. Naruto shrugged out of his jacket and rushed over to the genie. Hey, genie. I wish for a big dangerous adventure. For all of us to go somewhere with strong enemies, with people in trouble so we can help them, and the biggest adventures somebody can know. Take us somewhere that will let all of us get strong. Adventure and danger are what you want. Well, then I know the best place to go. Wait! Kakashi shouted. The genie began to spin. Smoke wasn't billowing now, but erupting from his arms, encircling the clearing they all stood in, then forming an extra ring, another, and another, engulfing the campsite. Oh no! No revokements or escape clause. Kakashi, from outside the smoke trap, glanced back. He substituted himself and his genie away, then immediately, tendrils shot forth, encompassing every ninja and pulling them back into the smoke pocket. Fast. Your wish is my command. D. Quickly, everyone and everything attached to them got consumed in a vortex the genie conjured. All of the leaf ninjas were levitating, tumbling about and spinning, with barely any sense of up, sideways, or down. Naruto. What you do? Sasuke's voice sounded in the chaos. Huh. Stop. We didn't agree on this. Sakura exclaimed in fear. Kakashi was silent, his arms flailing about to grasp a trace of his precious students. Wahoo! And Naruto was far too excited. All four felt as though a vacuum was drawing them in. Loud, confusing screams were made in the smoke around them. Until a single clear voice broke through, Abreo Akatabareo Awaya. Pop in a single instant. A series of choices made by pure chance altered the course of two different dimensions. As Team 7 disappeared, leaving no trace behind of them. 4 minutes passed. Everything was unchanged. Birds flew from above. A family of rabbits peeked out from their hole. The wind began to rise, forming a gentle breeze through the stoic trees. Another the same spot. Here. We are. A deep, thundering roar echoed in the clearing. Smoke, the shade of sulfur, came emerging from the spaces between the wind. Billowing forth, innumerable tendrils of such smoke came forwards, extending around themselves and forming a dense spiral. Upon contact with the ground, shapes came emerging through the vortex, churning until the silhouettes of humans could be made out. They were the size of adults. One carried a pair of swords. Another shouldered an odd, serpentine bow, holding hands with the swordsman. Plus another pair, a well-endowed female aside a single powerful man. Large scrolls were carried by all of them, near the small of their backs. After a handful of seconds, their bodies were clear through the yellow haze, which continued receding until only wisps remained. Delivery. No refund, no returns. With a final declaration, the smoke was gone, and those who arrived stood there. Looking around, one individual gazed about. Old memories stirring in their mind. An odd sense of loss, nostalgia, wistfulness, and more. A well of regret and concern welled within them, mixing with relief. So, we're finally home. I guess that wish on the bottle really was a good idea. All of those people. Those adventures. A female voice answered her lover. None of such memories will depart from our thoughts, my love. Just like we never left each other, when things were at their most bleak and treacherous. Another woman spoke up. I agree. I'm actually eager to see how different the Leaf Village is, through our eyes now. Then let's not waste time. The oldest figure present stated. It is time to return to the Lead Village. Time for us to return home, and show Lord Hokage the growth we have made, across all these years, and through the chaos of the Grand Line. 0-0 Team 7 were tumbling through a shapeless vacuum. Nothing within their touch could be grasped, yet colors, sights and sounds surrounding them continued spirally, chaos personified. Still, their bodies continued, drawn onward. None of the four had any sense of space, distance, or otherwise, only a thrilling velocity forcing them towards a single destination was clear to their senses. It all lasted a few moments. We're here. The genie's voice came piercing through their ears. Confused. Where is here? What is going on? Woo! Various shouts responded, some desperate and others soon. Hatake Kakashi, Uchiha Sasuke, Haruno Sakura, and Uzumaki Naruto felt solid ground beneath their feet. The eldest ninja steadied himself, while the others dropped to their knees, and two flat on their butts. Gradually, the blanket of purple smoke unfurled from their bodies. New sensations reached them, warm sunlight, moisture laced with salt hung in the air, and soft grass between their open-toed shoes. Once their faces were uncovered, bright sunlight filled their vision, blinding them in its radiance. A salty scent touched their noses. Crashing waves echoed behind them, overlaid with scents of fire, explosions, and the distant sounds of violence. Sakura and Sasuke were dazed, too bewildered to grasp their placement, while Naruto and Kakashi recovered quicker, opening their eyes to a beautiful clearing. Dense forests were in the distance, while a blend of flowers and grass surrounded them. The sky was cloudless, and the warmest sun they had ever felt comforted the visitors. Here we are. Everyone whirled around, to find the genie behind them. I have granted your wish. This world will certainly allow you to find the adventures, dangers, and people to fulfill the wish you have made. I even have a brother here, who can grant wishes as well. Finding him might be tough, but you'll definitely be able to have more wishes from him, and get back to where we were through one of them. Each of the ninjas were baffled. Here? Where exactly is here? Where have you brought us? Kakashi demanded, his voice deep, serious, commanding. Bye-bye. The genie answered. Hey, wait. What has Naruto's wish done? Where is the Leaf Village? Sakura screamed. Bihu. Guhu. Bihu hu 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 hu. The genie simply laughed, his arms flailing about while the bottle began to suck him inside. Still tickles. As the last wisps entered their confines, the bottle's color was shifting. Strange lights came resonating along the edge of its profile, and then the vessel was glowing and continued levitation up to hover in the air. Moving higher and higher, a growing star, it was ascending to the heavens. I hope you all have fun here. Let's meet again. In your own home. In another 1,000 years. With a final twinkle, the bottle was gone, leaving the ninjas behind. For a long while, four pairs of eyes were trained on the sky, watching for a glimpse of their strange acquaintance. Eventually, Kakashi turned his attention to their surroundings, while Naruto moved to help Sakura to her feet. After accepting his help, the Pinkette promptly shoved Naruto to the ground. "Sasuke? You okay?" Rushing straight for the Uchiha, Sakura swept her hands over him, questioning if he had been hurt or dazed. Completely uncaring for the blond boy, Naruto brushed it off and began to glance around, innocent and confused. "Huh. A spot with adventure. This spot sure looks quiet. Did that genie do it right or dash? Help. Help me, please. Get back here, you piece of shit." Turning their heads at the sound, Team 7 witnessed a younger man, dressed in scorched tatters, stained with blood, stumbling towards them. Behind the man was a pair of armed thugs, wearing spotted bandanas, open vests, dirty pants, and weapons. What kind of sword are those? Kakashi thought. The hilts and blades are connected by a strange metal cup, covering their hands. Is that Dash? Popping his special eye to be certain, Kakashi traced a thin line of metal between the cup and pommel visible as a raider drew their weapon overhead. PLPL please. PLPL please, save me from these pirates. Hang on, I'm coming to save you. Naruto, wait, but the blonde was already rushing off, ignoring his sensei's words. Kakashi sighed, will he ever follow commands? Naruto, you fool, stop. Sensei said to dash enough Sakura. The girl froze. Kakashi's voice carried a hard edge, the same he had during their confrontations with Zabuza. In fact, if we save that man, he might tell us where we are right now. Go. Faster than a blink, Kakashi was moving forward to catch up with his orange-colored student. Naruto kept running ahead, causing the brutes in his vision to pause in surprise. With a smirk, Naruto leapt into the air with one leg ready for a kick at one target. But the second pirate ran into him, with a sharp slash coming to meet him. Dash the weapon cleaved into his chest, and the grunt holding it smirked. Just another useless kid, playing hero, and got himself killed. Then in a flash, the body fixed by a sword was replaced with a log. Hiya! Voicing his surprise, the pirate's body pitched forward, weighed down by the heavy log his sword was planted in. Hey! Glancing up, the man saw another child, with black hair, dressed in a navy shirt and white shorts, twirling in the air straight for him. The movement built up momentum, driving the boy's foot straight into the grunt's head. Perfect target. Thanks for looking up when I called. Sasuke smirked with satisfaction. The kick launched the man onto his back. And he landed. The Uchiha looked back in surprise. Gawi! Little shit! The grunt brushed dirt off his face, drawing a knife from his belt and scrambling towards Sasuke. Hey! Came Naruto's voice. Super Shuriken toss. The genin threw out 2 handfuls of shuriken, completely off target. Ah! Naruto! Sakura cried, narrowly evading several of the sharp flying stars. Both of the pirates stopped as well, blinking at the display, and Sasuke took the chance, sweeping one's feet out from under them and tied down with a series of ninja wire. Hey! No fair! Naruto dashed up to Sasuke, shouting all the while. Sasuke, you selfish bastard! That guy was mine. Why did you steal my action? It sucks, trying to make yourself look all cool. Ichich. The only thing that sucks here is you, the Uchiha scoffed. Not one of those shuriken touched him, and you passed up the opportunity. I don't need to try anything. You're just terrible. That riled up Naruto, who pulled 2 hands to his sides. Grr. I'll show you dash enough. The boys froze in place, while Sakura did the same. She had been running up with one fist cocked back to drive into Naruto's skull, but the charge to take payback on Naruto's terrible shuriken throw stopped in its tracks. Kakashi stood behind them, with the other pirate already bound and weaponless. Naruto, Kakashi scolded, you are far too slow to react, and that dramatic shuriken throw nearly injured your own teammates. Sasuke took the openings that came, and the first ended. Well done, he nodded at the Uchiha. But your rivalry isn't important right here. With a few steps, Kakashi grabbed the other brigand and moved to a nearby tree. Now, I have some questions for the pair of dash. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. More shouts of gratitude filled the air. The young man in grimy clothes knelt towards the shinobi, bowing his head all the while. Until a loud shriek filled the air. Oh no! The village. PL please, help my village. There's a crew of pirates running wild there. They're looting, burning, kidnapping everyone in sight. They're just too many, and the Marines aren't here to help us. PL please, please. He was on his knees, with both hands folded together, begging. You need help. I'll help you save them. Naruto nearly ran off again. Nearly. Sasuke tripped his teammate as the boy ran by, and soon bound him with ninja wire. Slow down for a second, loser. Stop running off the play hero all the time. Gah, come on. Naruto spat a tuft of grass out of his mouth, complaining. We need to help these people. They're getting attacked by pirates right now. Kakashi groaned in resignation. Naruto. We need to know who this man is. And whether we can, or should, do anything. Turning towards the pirates, the air around the group began to drop, growing colder and bleak. The pirates shivered, their bravado overwhelmed with a single emotion, fear. The Jonin glowered down at the pair, driving a pulse around him, one so dense it rendered the marauders shitless. Now, I have some questions, which the pair of you will answer. Under Kakashi's watchful eye, the pirates confessed to all his questions. Their crew numbered 60 men, nobody with a significant bounty, and were directed by Captain Sendu, a rookie pirate looking to become a big shot. Kakashi was confused by certain words that the pirates used, such as weapons called cannons or rifles, but mentally cataloged the topics, and ordered the Jonin to do the same. Once the interrogation was done, the Jonin turned towards the villager and weighed his options. Getting involved with these pirates could be dangerous. Yet, I still have no idea where we are. This isn't a mission, nor is there anyone in this village who are particular towards the four of us. Yet leaving these people to fend for themselves doesn't feel right. Charging in could come back to haunt us if this Sendu has any connections. But for the present, helping this village could mean shelter, food, and some information from anyone still there. Enough to learn about where we are. That settles it. Excuse me, Kakashi addressed the kneeling villager. My name is Kakashi Hatake. Can you share yours? Minoru. My name is Minoru. PL please held dash it's all right, Minoru. The man replied, raising a hand for silence. We will help your village. The man's face broke out in relief. While Naruto yelled in excitement, come on, untie me already. Kakashi continued to speak, please, tell us where the village is, and draw a small map of the layout here in the ground, along with the position of the pirate ship. I have a plan to stop them and get your people to safety. But it requires some information from you. Gradually, Minoru told the Jonin all that he needed to know. Next, Kakashi called his genin over and began to share his plan with them. Sasuke and Naruto protested at the suggestion that they will be paired up. Didn't you both, together, save me from Zabuza with teamwork? As I recall, you both duped him, brilliantly, and eliminated one water clone by chance. And then drove the last remnants of Gado's thugs into a trap, saving Inari in the process, and crushed the brigands. Reminded of their past success, Naruto and Sasuke fixed each other with a look, then nodded their agreement. Sakura agreed to accompany Kakashi. Then, leaving the neutralized pirates knocked out, the lead shinobi moved out towards the village. zero point 0 Within Hama Village, the Swirlfan pirates were tearing homes apart, grabbing women from their children, and pushing back the few men still standing to fight. Captain Sendu watched in grim pleasure as his crew were at work. Hey, there won't be much, but you gotta start small before going after the tougher targets. This village will have some valuables and plenty of worthless lives to sell off to the auctioning houses. I'll get some extra money and more men from this success, then move on to some better targets. Soon a pair of crewmen approached their captain, carrying a large chest, while a third of the crew were dragging people in shackles on board to sell off. One pirate was chasing after a mother and her child, moving out of the village for the tree line. Yet the brigand was gaining on them with each step. Reach out to seize the young woman. Yee-yaw-wah-ha. With a loud shout, an orange swarm engulfed the man and left him beaten and dazed. Simultaneously, another boy ushered the women to the trees and was joined by his partner. It's all right. Just stay hidden, and we'll help your village. Naruto. Create a couple of clones to keep her safe from any pirates who come this way. Right. Leaving the pair of civilians with a few guards, the boys went back to the pirate and dragged him up to the rooftops. Meanwhile, a grown man with gray hair and a preteen pinkette snuck around the hull of a brigantine ship. Crawling on the vertical surface with their chakra control, the pair were on the side opposite to the wharf to lessen the chances of being spotted. The pair moved around slowly, with the older one counting the different footfalls on the decks or peering into the hull. They saw the group of captives and captors moving about on the decks and waiting. Now, we just need Sasuke and Naruto to get their attention. A handful of minutes later, a familiar shout came to Kakashi's ears, followed by a scuffle from the village square. Fire style, Great Fireball Jutsu. What? CCC Captain. That kid just dash I know, you need to tell me. Must be devil fruit powers. Come on, men. Charge the brat all at once and pin him down. Someone with his powers will be worth a lot as a slave. With a roar of excitement, feet clattered about the deck, before silence grew on board. Kakashi nodded with approval. They certainly do get people's attention. Now Sakura and I can free the slaves, then force the rest of the pirates to run back here, straight towards me. Somebody was beginning to abandon their plan. Sakura, stay here. The man whispered to his genin. But sensei, they're talking about giving Sasuke into slavery. I have to help and protect him. The girl complained, even beginning to stand up, but Kakashi forced her back down with one hand. That won't happen, Kakashi assured her. Sasuke and Naruto know their jobs and are fulfilling them. Now, we have to do our jobs and free these people. Remember, you stay with the people and I'll take the pirates when they come back. All right? But Sasuke has Naruto with him. They can watch each other's backs in a fight, just like they did against Zabuza and Haku. You know that. No, focus on this job, not on him. Understood. It wasn't a question, but a command. With a sigh of resignation, Sakura nodded. Then the pair slipped aboard and got to work. Back in the village, Naruto and Sasuke stood before the crowd of charging pirates. Several others were scattered about, sporting different bruises and burns, while most of the people were behind the genin and scared to see a pair of 12-year-olds standing up to the pirates. The Uzumaki and Uchiha grinned, caught up in the thrill of the one place the pair would cooperate together, battle. Naruto. These are a lot more than those thugs in Land of Waves. Split them up and attack from different angles. And watch out. Got it. Let's go. Naruto brought his hands together, crossing his hands to perform a signature technique. Multi-shadow clone jutsu. Columns of smoke erupted, giving the pirates pause. Once it cleared, many stepped back in awe. The villagers were equally surprised. 200 copies of a single boy filled the village. Most of them formed a buffer between the pirate crew and the villagers, with the rest scattered across multiple streets and rooftops. The clones were even taunting the pirates. You think you can outnumber me, do ya? You're outdone 4-1. Just sit down and surrender. There ain't no ways you can win. Captain Senda growled in frustration. These two might be a problem. Let's go. Each of the Narutos charged at the crew, with kunai drawn and eager to win. The pirates recovered and began to fight back. Many of the Narutos were hit, but some landed several hits of their own. Yet the grown men could shrug them off, with some effort. The captain had drawn an extra sword, cutting down several with each move. Still, the action kept them distracted. A situation compounded by the smoke given off by every felled clone. Hiding the other ninja. Demon Wind Shuriken. A large, spinning blade cut through the smokescreen, felling several pirates at once. Sasuke peered down, Sharingan ready and focused. The Uchiha traced both the shuriken and the pirates, throwing smaller stars and kunai at the right opportunities, disarming or crippling more and more of the pirates. Eventually, the Fuma Shuriken split, cutting down more opposition, then traveled in arcs before Sasuke caught both, effortlessly. Naruto was also at work, dropping smoke bombs and additional clones to keep the pirates occupied, while some extras led any civilians nearby to a safer distance. Between the pair, 50 pirates were cut down to 35 within minutes. Captain Senda growled, shouting for the brats to face him in a clear field, like true men. The genin only laughed, hidden by the smoke and aggravating the captain more. Fine then. Dropping his swords, the temperamental man reached for his pistols, drawing several and firing off randomly, uncaring about who was hit by his shots, whether it was the people or his crew. I'll always replace them with mountain bandits or lowlifes from other towns and cities anywhere. They're expendable, and these brats are making a mockery out of me. Sasuke's eyes grew wide. His Sharingan picked up the minuscule projectiles flying from the smoke, until one moved towards him. Shifting slightly, thanks to his precognitive sight, the tiny pellet swept by an inch from his cheek. Dropping to the ground, he saw similar projectiles tearing through the walls of houses nearby. Watching this, the boy's mind was blank towards unfamiliar weapons. Naruto wasn't any better. At the sound of the pistols, curiosity got the better of him. Peeping around a house, one bullet passed through a narrow beam, sending showers of splinters over his face. Ag! Ag! Naruto shouted in agony. His hand flew up, rubbing over his face. The boy wanted to get rid of the sharp feeling cutting inward, but his hands only forced the splinters deeper into his skin. Naruto! Sasuke shouted at the screams. Slipping through the houses, he soon found his teammate, lying on the ground and calling out. Sasuke! Get them off! Get them off! Get them off me! Sasuke moved to see what injured Naruto, but his eyes caught another danger. Dashing around the orange ninja, Sasuke drew a kunai, as most of the pirates came into view, following the screams to where Naruto had landed. Hey! You're finished, boys. Captain Senda swore through gritting teeth. He was focused and angry, eager to make the boys suffer for humiliating his crew. Excuse me. A new voice called out, from the ship. Everyone turned to spot a tall figure on the deck, amidst a pile of men, beaten unconscious. My ship. My men. Where am I, you bastard? Now Captain Senda was angry, and his crew knew this was the worst. Once he became angry, Sendu's habits would become cantankerous and aggressive. The man tore a sword from his closest men, having spent all of his ammunition, and charged towards the ship, while his men remained frozen by fear, spotting the red-colored eye of the new arrival. Kakashi frowned, taking in the situation. Sasuke! Get Naruto back! Suddenly, crackling screams came, so loudly some pirates were even pressing on one or both ears, then chirping of a high pitch was screeching between the loud sizzling tone. There ain't any birds here, Captain Senda complained. Chidori. 0 dusk was falling over Hama village. After Kakashi annihilated the pirates, some were still living and had to be restrained by the Jonin. Once it was done, Minoru had come forwards and rallied the civilians together in thanks. Soon after, most of the raiding pirates were bound together aboard smaller boats and sent out to sea, adrift. With so few grown men in the village, Kakashi pragmatically decided it was the best choice, rather than try to guard 60 grown men throughout the night. The captain, Sendu, remained in the village, bound with his own chains and knocked out by Kakashi to prevent any trouble from the pirate captain. The people were preparing a feast, celebrating their salvation and thanking the saviors who made it possible. While this was happening, Team 7 had gathered in the headman's house for privacy. Naruto's face had some bandages where the splinters had been removed. Sakura and Sasuke knelt on a broad carpet, her intermittently inching closer to him, while Kakashi himself was kneeling near the headman, examining a pistol in his hands. So, a small amount of explosive powder is placed in the tube, followed by a tiny metal ball, and all of it is pressed together. Then the arm is set back, and the weapon can be pointed at a target. By twitching the small device with one's forefinger, the arm ignites the flit, setting the power on fire, and propelling the metal ball outwards. That is right, Seivaku Mr. Kakashi. Clearing his throat, the headman, Tarm, nodded from his bed. The man had been one of the first to try and fight the pirates, but was shot in his leg and made the first prisoner. Once the prisoners were freed, he was taken to the local doctor along with the others to be healed. Despite the injuries, Tarm insisted on giving the ninjas all the help that he could, though he continuously called each of them saviors. Something that didn't feel too comfortable for Kakashi, who insisted on using his given name. The genin were looking over the pistol in wonder, too, while Kakashi drew a small scroll from his vest pocket. Opening the scroll, he placed the pistol in the center. With a single hand sign, it disappeared into smoke, sealed inside. This would be invaluable for the village to use, and give any shinobi quite the surprise. I'll show it to Lord Hokage once so you have one too? A devil fruit power! Tarm exclaimed. Sorry, Tarm, Kakashi scratched the back of his head. A what power? The headman frowned, confused. Devil fruit power. Strange abilities that someone can gain by eating a devil fruit. That's the only explanation for you or the boys to have powers like breathing fire or making copies of himself. It's quite rare to find any here in the East Blue, or anywhere outside of the Grand Line. How did the four of you end up here? Kakashi didn't answer. A small thinking, worrisome feeling began to grow in his stomach. Grand Line. What is that? Naruto spoke, with curiosity on his face. I guess you've just never seen ninjas before. Oh, and we came from the Hidden Leaf Village, not some big blue place. Why did you ask that? The Hidden Leaf Village? Tarm raised an eyebrow. Are you feeling all right, son? There's no such place named that on Jiha Island. And how come you don't know about the East Blue when you live in it? East Blue? Sakura joined the conversation. Her eyes narrowed, apprehensively. And what do you mean by Jiha Island? Isn't this place still part of the Land of Fire? Like Naruto said, we're ninjas from the Hidden Leaf Village. Sakura tapped the leaf symbol on her headband. Don't you know of it, where the Yondaime Hokage came from? Tarm's eyes widened. Rapidly, they passed between both the blonde and Pinkette, as if each needed their head examined or had grown extra limbs. Tarm, Kakashi's voice cut through them. His posture was rigid, anxious, with one hand clutching his pants and the other resting on his chin. Please. Can you show us a map of the world? Or a map of various islands, here in the East Blue? Of course, Savor, Mr. Kakashi. Give me a moment. Slowly, the man limped over to his cabinets, while Kakashi took a hand on Naruto's shoulder, guiding him back to the other genin where all four knelt together. Sakura, Naruto, Sasuke. I need you each to remain calm. If you feel like you need to leave this hut, you may. But go outside of the village to the trees and let out your emotions. No matter what we learn, Sakura began trembling. Even Sasuke grew anxious at his sensei's tone. Kakashi-sensei. Why? What is going on? At Sakura's question, Naruto just blinked, confused. His eye narrowed, sharply. I think that we aren't in the land of fire anymore. Or even on the same continent at all. That genie may have brought us to the other side of the world. Or somewhere else away from the elemental nations. Here you are. Stepping forward, Tom stood before them with a leather satchel in hand. He motioned towards a table off to one side, then waited. Slowly, the ninjas stood up and walked over, where Tom lit 3 candles, then drew a folded cloth from the bag, unfolded the contents to reveal a map, and set the candles at each corner as anchor points. The map depicted a large sea with various scattered islands dotting the vast blue expanses. This is where we are, Jiha Island. The headman had one finger resting on a single point on the map. There are several other islands across the East Blue that vary in size. Like Dawn Island in Goa Kingdom, Mirrorball Island, Clockwork Island, and Sixus Island. Along with archipelagos like the Organ Islands, the Gecko Islands, and Konomi Islands. Do any of these places look like your home island? Tom encouraged them. Or, I can open more chats of the North Blue, the South Blue and West Blue to comb through them. The ninja began looking over the maps. Yet, it was a fruitless effort. None of them found anything which resembled the elemental nations. Kakashi, the most experienced and mature of the group, felt the gravity of their situation the hardest. None of these islands or continents resemble the elemental nations at all. Plus, the weapons like the pistol or cannon on board the ship are not weapons known even in the land of ice. Could that genie, he mentioned of perfect place and I have granted your wish. This world will certainly allow you to find no. The Jonin quietly exclaimed. Sensei, Naruto spoke up in a timid voice. What's up? You're acting kinda scary, you know. Glancing around, Kakashi noticed the worried faces on each of his genin. Taking a moment, calling on experience, the ninja pushed his own emotions to the side and marshaled his thoughts. Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke. Do each of you recall what that genie spoke of? Tom? Kakashi looked over to the headman. Before we arrived here, one of my students uncovered a bottle, which held a person inside, claiming they were a genie. After some proof was displayed, Kakashi was patting a pouch where his most precious treasures were stashed. Naruto claimed a wish to be somewhere with danger and adventure at any turn. Yeah, a knucklehead impulsively claimed the spotlight of attention before him. Well, Sakura by accident said no to a wish, and then we lost, so I wish to go somewhere to get active, get dangerous, and get strong. A world with adventures, dangers, and people to fulfill the wish you have made, Kakashi continued. A world. Not an island. Not heaven or hell. Not a summoning dimension. A world. A pause following that. A poignant pause in the room, where no sound save a dull haze of the candles was made. The audience each grasped this at separate paces, their host first, jerking his head and looking between his guests. Sasuke stood white and pale, and went back to examining the maps. Sakura's mouth hung open, and so did Naruto's, although he still remained on his feet while hers gave out from under her. Sasuke, Kakashi spoke. None of the islands on these maps resemble the elemental nations at all. The islands themselves are too small, according to the scale legend. And I've never heard of any places like Goa Kingdom or Illusia Kingdom. Really, Sensei? Naruto cut into the man's observations. Well, does that mean that the genie granted my wish? Those pirates we had to fight were weird, but we beat him, right? Hey, how about we go find more? Grasping his bicep, Naruto was grinning with excitement. I'll get to show off my strength, all of you can stand back and watch. Sensei? Sakura murmured, looking up from the floor. If we don't, the genie, he's gone, and, as he left he said, 1,000 thousand years. You mean we're in a different world? WWW with home dash. She was hyperventilating. Tom gathered the girl in his arms, and with a nod from Kakashi he sat her down on the table, gently rubbing circles on her back until Sakura could breathe, and passed a glass of water to her. It's nowhere, Sasuke exclaimed, throwing a map aside, and spreading both hands across the table to keep standing. The land of fire. The village. Or anything. Gone. The village. Our home, the Hokage, it's gone. Way out. Now Naruto was anxious, and his cry shook the house. Diving forwards, Naruto nearly knocked the table over and was tearing through the maps, too. One after another, then a second one viewed upside down, he held two maps overtop the other, or with even less sense he tried fitting islands together like puzzle pieces. There are options to rule out, Kakashi tried assuring them while rubbing one hand over his neck. But, if I am correct, this means there isn't any Leaf Village here at all. Or any other ninjas who can help us. We're stranded, totally cut off, and there is no Leaf Village here for us to return to. Naruto wasn't paying any attention. Just staring into empty space, still in the center of the table. A different world. I didn't want this. I don't, this is. I just wanted more adventures and danger. Now there's no Leaf Village here. But that would mean I can't become Hokage at all. It means no Ichiraku Ramen, the only place that I feel happy. It means Irika-sensei. And Old Man Hokage. Naruto's mind grew bleak. The one constant source of comfort across his lonesome, terrible life was gone. I can't see the Hokage anymore. Naruto. What have you done? Sakura hollered. She charged at the dazed, lonesome child. But one arm stopped her. Sakura. Kakashi kept his arm extended, holding back the girl. Casting fault or blame here will accomplish nothing. Do not dash sensei. His stupid wish has us stuck here. The genie. Already. Disappeared. Now. We. Can't. See. Our. Families. At. All. Anything. We. Wanted. To. Do. In. Our. Lives. Is. In. A completely. Different. Place. And. We. Have. No. Way. To. Go. Back. It's all Naruto's fault. Tears were streaking down her cheeks, accented the pinkette's distress. She was deeply terrified, to the point of ignorance. Her minds were dominated by selfishness and the desire to vent that confusion on someone. Just let me hit him, sensei. Naru-. Sakura. Kakashi's voice spoke up, still fixing her in place. Some could also say that you wasting one wish also resulted in this. Since it could have been used to give us a way back. Or, you should blame me for giving Naruto an idea to wish for a place with adventure. I will not allow you to hurt him like that. For now, we need to stay together and decide where to go or what we do next. Keeping a firm hold on the girl, the Jonin glanced at Sasuke and Naruto. Both were deeply shaken. Old man. Naruto whispered. The Jonin sensei narrowed his eye. That's right. Naruto looked up to Hokage, and Lord Third is very close with him. And the position that he aspires so hard to reach. Now it's gone. And Sasuke. Sure enough, the last Uchiha looked deeply troubled. Even lost. Ich. Kakashi's resignation echoed throughout the room. He began to address the genin again when, pardon me? Tom spoke up. While Kakashi and Sakura met his eyes, the two boys barely moved. That might not be the case. Instead of another world. It might be that your home island is on the Grand Line. Reaching for another map, the man spread it open before the ninjas. This is far from accurate. But it does show another sea that lines in between all of the blues. The Grand Line. That ocean is known to have many different islands that are unique and wondrous. Some of them are also cut off from the rest of the world, like the country of Wano. It might be possible that your home is somewhere on that ocean. But if that is true, the man grew silent, ignorant of the faint hope he left dangling before the ninja. Please. A single word, filled with desperation, slipped from the Jonin. Continue, Mr. Tarm. Please. Oh. Well. I used to serve in the Navy a while back. There, I met some junior officers named Rapanui, Isoka, and Pukao. They spoke of stories about that place that are beyond belief, so I began to learn about it to try and prove them wrong. I even went to that sea with a crew. And barely came out alive. I'll start at the beginning for the kids. You can see on the maps that this world is separated by a single large continent, the Red Line. The Grand Line traverses it perpendicularly, separating the oceans into the North Blue, South Blue, East Blue, and West Blue. The Grand Line, though, is the home of the devil himself. That sea can only promise one thing alone. And that is death. The place is worse than other people think or speak of. The weather conditions are entirely unpredictable or defy any sense or reason. Terrible sea monsters dwell there, large enough to swallow a ship or a village whole. A single wrong choice can end the life of an entire crew. And if the elements don't kill you, the people who sail it will. The place is actually called the Pirate Graveyard, from the sheer scale of crews that have been killed in that sea. Likely millions, across hundreds of years. Traveling there can be near suicidal. The ninjas grew quiet again as Tarm finished his story. Why do so many people go there, if it's such a deadly place? Kakashi inquired. Tarm took a deep breath. Because of the One Piece. The greatest treasure in the world. Treasure? What kind of treasure? What? Naruto shouted, unconsciously clinging to the distraction from within his lost mind. 22 years ago, now. There was one man who did the impossible. A pirate who led his crew on a voyage to conquer the entire Grand Line. A man who was so strong, so powerful, and so dangerous, he bent all of the seas to his will. And defeated every opponent he found along the way. To the point that he earned a title nobody ever carried before. The King of the Pirates. Gold Roger. Gold Roger himself was from the East Blue. He achieved more wealth, fame, and power than anyone else did. He defeated every fellow pirate he encountered, and the most anyone could hope was to match him. The Marines finally managed to defeat and capture him and sentenced the man to death. But before his capture, Gold Roger took everything that was worth taking from the world and hid it away. An enormously vast treasure. The legendary One Piece. Whoever finds that treasure will be acknowledged as the next king of the pirates. Thousands of pirates' crews have traveled to the Grand Line to find the One Piece. Fighting each other, the Marines, and the elements all the way. To the point that the Grand Line is a constant battlefield. Sometimes I'm amazed that Zeph even survived for years in that hell. The Genin were left gapping at the story. Even in their bleak setting, stories of pirates, treasure, and adventure brought a glint of excitement to their young minds. While Kakashi was more observant. I apologize, Tarm. You just mentioned someone named Zeph went there? Oh, yes. The headman nodded. There is a former pirate I met a few years ago. The man was called Redfoot Zeph. He retired from that life over 10 years past. Opened a sea restaurant called the Baratai. He knows a lot more about the Grand Line than I do, no doubt there. If you want to know if your home is on the Grand Line, Zeph would be the best person to meet. The four of you are welcome to stay here as long as you want. Or you could head to the Baratai and meet him in person, hopefully find a way back home. Kakashi nodded, assessing their options. Then he came to a decision. All right. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura. All of the genin looked to their sensei. This time Sasuke actually did move his head. We'll stay here in Gia village for 2 days. Rest and prepare in this time, then we head to the Baratai using one of the smaller boats from the pirate ship. For now let's get some food and find a place to sleep. And I do not want anyone shelling out blame or accusations at each other, at all. Once the genin had nodded, Sakura twice, Kakashi released her. Watching them depart, the gray-haired Kapinin dropped in exhaustion. Why do they have to be so much work? Leading ANBU squads or working with Chunin didn't need that much attention for each member. I don't like having to be that hands-on with them at all. But since I'm the only one here. Soon the Jonin's head was buried in his hands. I'm going to have to work harder with each of them. Since I'm the only ninja here that can teach them anything about ninja arts at all. It's not just about Sasuke and his Sharingan anymore, but Naruto and Sakura might need more attention too, until we find a way to get back to the village. Savio.mr Kakashi. Are feeling all right? Fine, Mr. Tarm. Just fine, the lazy Hatake bemoaned. Glancing back to the door, Kakashi reflected on his genin. This really is the kind of situation I do not want to deal with. Our situation probably hasn't even sunk in yet and they are already in bad shape. Sasuke was almost unresponsive from the shock. Sakura turned into a volatile reeking ball, and Naruto looked like the ground was falling away underneath him. Still, the three of them did pull it together when it really counted in the land of waves. And they get along much better than I did with Rin and Obito. Kakashi smiled at the memories of his team outmaneuvering Zabuza, Sasuke protecting Naruto, Sakura helping Naruto climb a tree, and shedding tears after the battle passed. I'm confident they'll band together and remember my lessons about comrades and loyalty. Of course, Kakashi could have been more wrong. Blinded by his lifelong, terrible case of emotional constipation.